Okay, so I just want to again thank you for joining us this evening to talk about this Meet the Tutor presentation. Just a reminder about just making sure your cameras are switched off and your microphones. If you've got any questions, please type them in the chat at any time. If you've got any specific questions about your child, that affects your child, can I ask that you email or phone the school just sort of to protect your child's privacy? But obviously general questions I'll be able to answer straight away after this presentation. So the main theme tonight is just sort of introducing you to the school, talking about what your first couple of days are going to be like, what you need to bring, and any important information that you're going to need to know for when you join us in a couple of weeks' time. So your year team, you might have met these members of staff already because they have been coming into the primary schools. You've got your head of year, which is Miss Hazard, and you've got your student manager, who is Miss Glover. So Miss Hazard is sort of head of the year group. She will do your assemblies, and Miss Glover is the person that you can go to if you've got any particular issues during the day. You'll become very familiar with these two members of staff as you progress through your Royal Marsh journey. So at the school, we follow what we call the Royal Marsh Way, and this is our ethos for the school. So the 12 statements, and you'll see posters like these around the school. And the 12 statements that we try and follow, every student tries to follow these, including staff as well. So the statements like, we come equipped to learn, we support others around us, we take responsibility for our choices and actions, we always work hard, and we never give less than our best. So these are statements that we try and follow when we sort of at Royal Marsh School. So in short, we learn, believe, and succeed together. So the school day, how it will look when you come to join us, we have a form period, 8:40 till 9 AM. Our lessons are 80 minutes long. So period 1 is 9 till 20 past 10. Period 2 is 20 past 10 till 11:40. So there's no break between those two periods. They sort of just follow straight on. You then have a first break, which is half an hour. You then have period 3, and then a second break, and then period 4. So you will finish at 10 past 3. On the first day, when you come to join us at Royal Marsh, you will be in your tutor group, so that's form period, for 20 minutes. Well, obviously, you're going to quickly make new friends because I realise that some of you might be from different schools, and then you'll be in different lessons. You'll get your timetable, which tells you what lessons that you'll have each day on your first day. So I would just recommend that you bring your PE kit just in case, because you might have PE on that first day. So on your first day, you'll get your timetable, probably handed out by me in our first tutor period, our first form period. And just make sure you bring that PE kit just in case you've got PE on that first day. So tutor period or form period, a warning bell rings at 8:40. So when you first hear that bell, that's an indication that you need to make your way to your form room. And I'm pretty sure Miss Hazard will have explained to you what the room will be, so you'll know roughly where to go. And there'll be people around that you'll be able to ask. You must be therefore in your tutor room before the second bell goes, which is at 8:45. So the first bell goes at 8:40, the second bell will go at 8:45. So you need to be ready in the classroom for that time, because that's when the register's taken. One morning per week, you'll have an assembly in the main hall, so that will probably be delivered by Miss Hazard. And in the rest of the days, so one day a week will be in an assembly, the other 4 days we'll be doing different activities. Let me just check. So the school uniform, you can see that some of our previous students there sort of showing the uniform. It's black tailored trousers or black knee-length skirts with the Wickersley Partnership logo on, which is sort of the free leaves on the shoulder pad. A white shirt and a clip-on school tie. Black V-neck jumpers or cardigans with the school logo, and again they'll have the trust logo on as well, displayed on the sleeve. Your PE kit, short leggings or tracksuit bottoms with the logo on, the school logo, a t-shirt with the logo on. There will be opportunities, I think, to get hoodies. Again, they'll have the school colours and the school logo on, black socks and trainers. So that's the PE kit. So just remember, on your first day, I would just bring your PE kit just in case you've got PE on that first day. Footwear, we've put these pictures together just to explain about the footwear. So the rule is that it should be plain black leather footwear with no stripes or logos. So you've got some examples there of what we would accept. So for example, this one, you can see obviously it's got the Nike logo on it, but the logo is completely black. So we don't want to see any white on there, and it has to be leather. And these are footwear that we would say does not meet the rule. So again, obviously you've got footwear there with stripes on. You've got non-leather shoes. We don't really see any massive amount of buckles. So the rule is plain black leather with no clear logos on. So the expectations in terms of makeup and accessories. Makeup should be discreet and minimal, so no false eyelashes or false nails. No extreme haircuts or hair dyes. Jewellery must be kept to a minimum, no more than one small earring, sleeper or stud in each ear. Facial piercings are not allowed on the school site at all. You will have opportunity to win some pin badges, and we encourage students to wear them on their ties or on their jumpers, so they will be allowed. So the equipment that you need to bring every day, so we expect the minimum of 2 pens, just in case one pen doesn't work, 2 pencils, a ruler, a sharpener, a rubber, and a bag, so you can keep all your books in and your equipment. Obviously, just a reminder again, just make sure you bring your PE kit as well on the first day, just in case you've got PE. So the canteen, you can see there's a picture of our canteen. It's a bit different now from that picture. We are a cashless school, so you don't top up your child's. So you need to top up your child's account via PayPal, Parent Pay. You will receive a letter prior to rollover information about your child's account. So you will do that online, and you can top up your child's account through the internet. On the first week, we'll spend some time getting the Year 7s familiar with how to use the till system. So they'll get a proper introduction on how to order food and how to pay for it using the cashless system. So there's no worries there. A popular choice in the canteen is the meal deal, where students can purchase a sandwich or wrap, a snack and a drink, and that normally costs around £2.15. The new Year 7, so you guys will go to lunch 10 minutes early during rollover. So those 2 weeks before the summer, when you come up from primary, you'll have 10 minutes extra on top of your breaks. Therefore, you've got plenty of time to get into the canteen and get your food before the rest of the school comes out for break. So it just gives Year 7s the opportunity to sort of settle in and spend a bit of time at break time on their own before the canteen becomes full with the other students. We have the canteen, which is in the picture on the screen there, and we also have 2 further serving hatches with hot food available. So there's the canteen, there is 2 hatches as well in the school where you can get hot food from, and we also have some vending machines as well where students can get food and drink from. Attendance is really important to us at Royal Marsh, so we always aim for students to have 95% attendance. Anything under that is what we would consider to be unacceptable, simply because 95% at the end of the year equates to 2 full weeks of lost learning. So that means you've been off for 2 weeks, which is a long time. So we always aim for benchmark of 95. Students that earn 100% will get prizes and certificates throughout their time at Royal Marsh. The reason why we push for 95% of attendance or above is because it's shown that students will achieve good GCSEs, good grades, when they are meeting that attendance figure. If they attend under 95%, then they are going to miss out on learning and may not get the grades and the qualifications that they deserve. Safeguarding is really important. So every member of staff in the school is responsible for safeguarding. So if your child, or you've got some concerns when you're at school, you can freely talk to any member of staff about your worries and anxieties that you might have, and we're there to help. We also have specific members of staff who can offer specialist support to your students who most need it. So we have got an in-house counselling team available if that is required. We also teach what we call PHSE, which covers topics that we're instructed to teach by the government, which will also cover safeguarding issues as well. So here's some examples of what we'll cover in Year 7. We'll cover skills for life, introduction to how to make friends, an introduction into beliefs. We then taught in Term 2, it'd be about healthy body and healthy mind. Term 3, relationship boundaries, an introduction to law and safety in and out of the home. So we do cover some of these important features in PHSE, but the main thing is that if you've got a concern while at school, your first part of contact will be me in the morning. So if you've got any concerns, you can speak to myself. You might choose to speak to your student manager, or you might choose to speak to Miss Hazard. But you can also approach any member of staff as well if you've got any concerns about your well-being. So these are some key staff that we've got that just work on safeguarding at school. So we've got the safeguarding team, which is Miss Howard and Mr Wainwright. We've got counselling and support, which is Miss Palmer and Miss Shirt. We've got curriculum support. So if a student has special educational needs, there's Miss Hodges and Miss Gibbons. Okay, so they're key staff for safeguarding. So I need to introduce you to the rules of Royal Marsh. So we always strive to arrive to lessons on time. We wear correct uniform. We arrive to lessons fully equipped. It's really important that you do what's asked first time of asking by a teacher. We don't shout and swear, and we don't argue. So there are rules that we expect every student to follow. If, for an example, you break these rules, you might be given what we call a CFC, which is a cause for concern. So that's issued if you break one of these rules or display behaviour which is not acceptable in the school. If your behaviour is bad to the point where it's stopping other people from learning in a lesson, you will be sent to sanctions, which is a room outside of the lesson where you will complete work on your own. Restorative practice is also a big part of Royal Marsh School. So after a student has been sent to sanctions, they'll receive an automatic detention where the teacher who has sent them to sanctions in that lesson can have a constructive conversation about their behaviour and try and clear the air, so the following lesson, the air is clear, the issues have been addressed, and you can start a fresh start in that next lesson. That's really important. Mobile phones, we keep phones in your bags. They must be in your bags, and we don't wear headphones in school. So you should not be out in the corridors of the school on your phone, and you should not be wearing headphones either. So in a lesson, you might find your teacher talking about the behaviour system. So we have 3 steps in a lesson. So a student is given a warning. So if they break any of these rules in a lesson, they might be given a warning. If that behaviour then continues, the student will be sent outside the room for 5 minutes, where the teacher might come and speak to the student and just get them to reflect on why they've been sent out, with the hope of clearing the air then. We then let the student back into the classroom, where hopefully they can continue their lesson and their learning. If that step doesn't work and the student still continues to disrupt the learning of other people in the class, that student will be removed, and that is when they are sent to the sanction room. So just a bit about mobile phones again. So phones are allowed in class when teachers are giving you permission to use them as a learning tool. So some teachers might say, can you get your phones out? Because we're going to do some research on the internet. That's fine. You can get them out at break times, but you must be in a classroom or your form room. And you can use your phones to record your homework. So you might want to make a note on your phone if you've got some homework that needs to be completed. We do not want phones visible on the corridors at break times or in the canteen. We don't want them out during lesson time when you're walking around, moving from lesson to lesson. If these rules aren't followed, your phone will be confiscated until the end of the school day, and your name will be logged and you'll be put in detention. So you can use your phones as long as it's for learning purposes inside a classroom at break times, but you must be in a classroom. But you must not use your phones on the corridors or out in the yard. We do run a Chromebook option at Royal Marsh School. So if you don't particularly want your student to be using their phone during the school, we do offer a Chromebook scheme. So there's option 1, Chromebooks for Students scheme. So you can buy a Chromebook, which is like a mini laptop, which has Google on it. And through this scheme, the Chromebook will cost you £9.99 a month for 3 years. So you can pay it off gradually. It comes with safeguarding software, so you can monitor what your child accesses. Any accidental damage to the device will be repaired free of charge by an external company. There's also a second option where we loan a Chromebook. This is a new option which gives families some flexibility and lowers the cost. The Chromebook will be returned at the end of each academic year to be updated and serviced. If the Chromebook were to be damaged, you would be liable for the cost. Though this option, you would pay £22 per year for every year your child was in the school and return it to the school when your child leaves. So you've got 2 options. You can either pay, if you wanted a Chromebook, they are optional. We're not saying that every child needs to have a Chromebook. We're saying it's optional. It's something we offer in the school. There's a £9.99 a month option for 3 years, or we can loan one to you and you need to return that to us at the end of each academic year, and that will cost £22 per year. So obviously I've talked a lot about the behaviour systems at school, so now I really want to talk about the rewards and the positives. So these are some of the things that the students can earn while at Royal Marsh. So they can get CFPs, which are what we call cause for praises. They can get praise points. They can get golden ties for top boy and top girl. So instead of wearing the black tie, you'll have a golden one. We also run an effort ranking. So your classroom teachers will put your effort in for that lesson, and then you'll be ranked in order for the whole year group, and there'll be prizes available. Prizes for 100% attendance. So there's lots of prizes. There's also the little pin badges that I've talked about as well previously. We also are running a pledge system. So this is when we give students opportunity to achieve tasks throughout their school life at Royal Marsh. And students can achieve these pledges by doing specific tasks. And there's different themes. So there's active citizenship, life skills, and British values. And by achieving some of these tasks, the students will again win more prizes. They'll get more pin badges, and that recognition for that hard work is what we really want to focus on at Royal Marsh. So we're really about celebrating success. So you'll get pin badges when you complete these pledges. You'll get prizes for taking part, and there'll also be big ceremonies at the end where you'll be given almost like a graduation type thing on meeting those pledges that year. So if you've got any questions, please put them in the chat box. I'll try and answer any that are on in there now. So Mia, you've asked a question about can we pay in full for the Chromebook, please? I'm not sure on that, actually. I can find out for you and get back to you on that. I would imagine that you can, but we just obviously advertise those two options that I've gone through because they tend to be most popular. But I'd imagine yes, but I'll try and find out for you. Question from Isabel: what happens if you get lost and you end up being late for lesson? So obviously, year 7, you're going to be new to the school. So there is going to be a bit of leniency for you guys, because obviously teachers know that it can be quite overwhelming trying to get your head around a new school and a new building. So I don't want you to be worried about being late for the first 2 weeks before the summer. You'll have plenty of time to obviously find your way around. And if you are late, you just apologise to the teacher and they'll be completely understanding. But obviously after summer and in September, we would expect you to know your way around there. So we would perhaps be a bit more strict to them with being on time to lesson. Does that answer your question, Isabel? I'm just going to stop the recording. So if anybody wants to unmute the microphone and ask me any questions, that's fine. That is the end of the session. So if you've got no questions, you can leave. That's absolutely fine. If you do think of any other questions, please contact the school. Please speak to Miss Hazard, because you might see her when she's in at primary schools. That's absolutely fine. I just want to thank you for joining us, and I'm looking forward to meeting you all in a couple of weeks' time. So I'll just stop that recording now in case anybody wants to ask me any questions verbally.